Hey friends, how's it going? Today, back working on the Silverado. It won't start. Pretty sure the battery's dead, so we're gonna hook it up to the battery charger, see if that fixes it. If not, we'll put a new battery in, see what happens. So I came out to start the truck earlier. I've got basically nothing. It powers on, flick the key, it all shuts off. So I put the battery charger on it. That did not fix it. It charged overnight and still would not start. So then after the battery charger didn't work, I used my jump pack, and with this, I was able to start the truck. So the battery won't charge, but the truck starts fine with the booster pack, which tells me the battery's dead. And I happen to have this old battery around. It's a really old battery from February of 2016, but I put it on the charger, tested it, it's good. So we're gonna go ahead and get the bad battery out, put that good one in there. And depending on where you take your vehicle to get a battery swapped out, the labor for doing this could cost you anywhere between about $60 and $400, depending on who you have doing your work for you. But if you're in my position where you're stuck at home 30 minutes to the nearest parts store, just easier to replace this in my driveway. So on the 07 to like 2013-ish Silverados, the battery's on the passenger side. Here's the cab. There's this little bracket here you're gonna have to remove. It's got two bolts here, so we're gonna get those out of the way really quick. And those are 13 millimeter bolts, so just a ratchet and socket with 13 millimeters. And we can get these out of here. Something to be cautious about. The battery is right here, and it's a top post battery. So the positive battery terminal is right there. So when you drop this off or take these bolts out, it's gonna try to drop down. If I have a dead battery like I do, probably doesn't matter too much, but it's still gonna arc if you don't have this cover on. So make sure you have that cover in place, and if you don't, just be super careful when you pull out this bracket. This guard here that's on top of this, you just squeeze the sides and it lifts up. It's got these little tabs right here that hold it into the base. So you just squeeze those together and lift up, and you can move that out of the way. The next part, just a 10 millimeter socket I'm gonna use. On top of these posts, there's these little nuts that tighten down and kind of clamp together these battery terminals. So we're gonna loosen those, which will allow us to get these cables off the battery. And we're gonna go ahead and start with the negative first, get that loosened up, and then you can kind of wiggle this cable to be able to get it pulled off. And we're gonna move that off to the side, and we're gonna do the exact same thing with the positive. I do have an aftermarket amplifier, so I've got an extra wire on here that yours probably won't have. The process is still the same on this. Again, you just loosen it up enough to be able to wiggle around this battery post, get that cable off just like that. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of my subscribers and viewers. I appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, go down below, hit that subscribe button for me, hit the notification so you get notified every time I post a new video. For the next part, you're going to need kind of a long extension. There's a bolt right down here that holds the battery in place. I think it looks like maybe a 13 millimeter. So we're going to grab that and get that out of the way really quick. So just need to use this ratchet with that long extension to get this out of here. And once that's loosened anyway, I've got it still down there. I pulled the battery, I just let it come off the little lip. And now I might, let's see what we can do here. Plus my handle's broken right there. Super duper. It's exciting. Never a dull moment, guys. Oh yeah, we can get it out, look at that. Whew. There we have it. And now you can see that's where the battery goes. This aftermarket battery does have this little clip it comes with. Just got to make sure that that's on the correct side. And we're going to put the top posts towards the engine. So that's where I've got this, is the closest side to those posts right there. I did run into an issue as I'm looking at this. My positive and negative are actually kind of on the wrong side. These cables are long enough though that I just brought this positive cable over here. It should go on top, and then I moved this negative cable just on the back side of this bar here. So it should be able to get on top of the battery as well without a problem. If you get the OE replacement battery, the posts will be where they're supposed to be. No need to worry. Now we're just gonna put the new battery in place down there, and then get it under that little mount thing on the front, and then make sure it's hooked on the back. There's a couple little bracket things on the bottom that this back slides under. You can see right there on both sides. And then at the front, we just gotta make sure that that hold down bracket right up there is up over that red thing, and then we can tighten that down into place. And then, like I said, we're just gonna go ahead and tighten down the hold down bolt at the front here. Now that battery's in there nice and tight, not gonna go anywhere. On the sides, there's these strap things that come on this, so you can see there's a groove. If you push all the way down, you can pop it out, and the exact same thing's true for putting it back in. Start at the bottom, you can push it in. I'm gonna just pull this out of the way. You know, the thing that sucks sometimes about working on vehicles and doing things like this where you're using stuff that's not specifically for it is it can be a pain in the butt. And that's kind of what I've got here. So the stock battery has like a groove on this side right here. You can see how it sits lower than the top of the battery. Well, this battery doesn't have that, and this is actually designed to sit down in the groove a little bit. So I'm gonna have to kind of make do. It's gonna sit on there kind of funny. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't sit up and hit the bracket. Oh, it's a good thing the positive's on this side, so it definitely will not. But before we close the hood down, oh yeah, there's plenty of room. You can see how low this sits compared to where that bracket's gonna be, so it'll be fine. This will give you the idea of how to do it. I really like the design on these vehicles that have this style of post. You can see there's wedges on this bottom piece here. There's this threaded rod that comes up through the center with that nut on top. When you tighten it down, it pulls this up, and that's what squeezes this battery post together, the clamp together, to hold it on your post. And then it's just really the opposite of taking it off. You're gonna put that on there and then tighten down this little 10mm nut onto this battery post, and make sure you get it tight. Like this thing, it's got a lot of room to tighten down, and you don't want it to wiggle around when it's in here. And then just slide this cover back down and snap it into place. This one's a little old and kind of falling apart, but we're gonna make it work so it covers everything just like that, so I don't have to worry about it. And then we're gonna go ahead and hook up this negative post as well at the back here. Oh yeah, there's some sparks. Got a good charge on this one. Might have to loosen this one a little bit because I didn't take that all the way off. There we go. And now we'll tighten that one down. So be careful not to touch any metal frames or that battery post over there. Get yourself a nice little spark show if you do something like that probably. So again, get it down nice and tight onto that battery there, so that way it doesn't wiggle around. After messing around a little bit, I found that this is probably the best this is gonna sit on there. Again, for a temporary fix, it's fine. It's on there, I can't turn it, it's down tight. And now I'm just gonna put that bracket back on the top here and bolt it into place. And then when we're doing this again, just gonna kind of hold it up here with our hands to make sure it doesn't drop down and hit the battery post. It wouldn't be, again, that bad just hitting the negative over there, because the negative is grounded to the body anyway. But it makes it easier just to kind of hold it up here as you put these on, get them on there hand tight, and then we'll grab that ratchet and tighten them down. You could do this with a little power one if you had one, that'd be a little easier, but hand tools work for something as easy as this here, to be honest. Ow! Son of a biscuit! All right, there is that battery installed, bracket back on. We're gonna go try to start this truck up, make sure it works good, which hopefully it does. Point out the fact that I jinxed myself talking about using hand tools and I smashed my knuckles. That was great. All right, let's see if this thing fires up. Dash lights and stuff hopefully all come on. Yep, there we go. Just like that, there we go. That's how you change a battery on these Silverados. It's really easy, and it'll save you some money and maybe even some time if you can just do this in your driveway with some hand tools and stuff. Thanks for watching. Until next time.